It started with silence. Not the peaceful kind, but the heavy kind that fills your room when the world moves on and you're left behind. David sat on the edge of his bed, scrolling through his banking app for the fifth time that night. Balance, $132.47. Payday was still 9 days away. His rent reminder blinked on his phone screen like a cruel joke. The world had changed again. Companies were laying people off because AI could do it faster. And while everyone on social media bragged about using AI to make money, David couldn't even figure out where to start. He wasn't lazy, just lost. He'd worked hard, followed the rules, saved when he could. But somehow, the system felt like it was rigged against people like him, the everyday worker trying to stay afloat in a world racing toward automation. Late one night, he typed into YouTube, "How to survive when AI takes your job." The search results were overwhelming: futuristic robots, stock charts, experts in expensive suits. But one thumbnail stood out: AI for the rest of us. He clicked. The video didn't promise overnight wealth. It promised understanding how normal people were using AI tools to manage budgets, predict spending, and invest smarter, even with small amounts. For the first time, David saw AI not as a threat, but as an opportunity. He leaned closer to the screen, heart beating faster. Maybe he didn't need to be a tech genius. Maybe he just needed to start. That night, something shifted. The fear didn't vanish, but curiosity took its place. And that's where our story begins, not with a millionaire, not with a trader, but with someone just like you, trying to find a way to make AI work for them. The next morning, David woke up to an email that froze him in place. Subject: Organizational changes, important update. He didn't even need to open it. He'd seen the same subject line sent to a friend just last week, the one who was let go after 8 years of loyalty. Still, he clicked. Dear David, due to automation and recent restructuring, your position has been made redundant. Your final paycheck will be processed this Friday. His mind went blank. It wasn't anger at first, it was disbelief. He stared at the words, trying to process how software, algorithms, and machines had replaced everything he'd built his life around. Outside, the world looked normal: sunlight spilling through windows, kids heading to school, neighbors walking their dogs. But to David, everything had changed. By noon, he was sitting in a coffee shop surrounded by strangers typing away on laptops. A group of young entrepreneurs chatted nearby about AI scaling their businesses. One line stuck with him: "You don't need money to win anymore, just the right tools." Tools. The word echoed in his head. If AI was powerful enough to take his job, could it also be powerful enough to help him rebuild? He opened his laptop and searched, "Can AI help me make money?" Hundreds of results flooded the screen: AI budgeting apps, investing bots, personal finance assistants. But most of them were wrapped in complex jargon or intimidating dashboards. He scrolled past them all until one caught his eye: "Invest with AI, start with $10." He clicked. A clean, simple interface appeared. It explained how AI analyzed patterns, predicted market shifts, and automatically diversified small investments. It wasn't magic. It was math. But math with insight. David didn't invest that day. He just watched, read, and absorbed. But a thought sparked quietly in his mind: what if AI wasn't the enemy? That question burned brighter than fear. The job was gone. The savings were fading. But something new was taking root: a fragile hope that maybe, just maybe, AI could become more than a threat. It could become a second chance. That night, David couldn't sleep. His mind kept replaying that single idea: you don't need money to win anymore, just the right tools. He opened his laptop again, the glow cutting through the darkness. He revisited the AI investing platform that caught his eye earlier. This time, he didn't just glance, he studied. The homepage was clean, welcoming, not the intimidating chaos of numbers he expected. A calm voiceover tutorial explained how their AI system analyzed global markets, read sentiment from news headlines, and even predicted risk levels based on data patterns. It was like watching the future unfold, and for the first time, he wasn't just watching from the outside. He created a free demo account. No money, no pressure, just curiosity. The dashboard came to life: colorful graphs, real-time indicators, predictions on stocks and ETFs. He clicked through every section, fascinated by how AI wasn't gambling, it was learning. Each time he refreshed the page, the recommendations adjusted. When tech stocks dipped, it shifted focus toward energy and healthcare. When inflation headlines spiked, it rebalanced into bonds. It was as if the system could see what humans missed, not replacing intelligence, but enhancing it. Over the next few weeks, David became obsessed. He started tracking his own expenses through an AI budgeting assistant, a simple tool that connected to his bank account, categorized every dollar, and highlighted waste. For the first time in years, he understood where his money was actually going. The late-night food orders, the unused subscriptions, the emotional spending, the AI exposed it all with brutal honesty. But instead of judgment, it offered solutions. If you redirect $40 weekly toward your savings goal, you'll reach $500 in 3 months. That line hit him like a revelation. AI wasn't about replacing humans. It was about revealing patterns in the market, in money, even in behavior. Slowly, things began to shift. He started setting small goals: save $10 a day, invest $25 a week. The AI app tracked his progress, sent reminders, celebrated milestones. It wasn't just numbers anymore, it was momentum. One evening, he opened the investing dashboard and noticed something new: a green arrow beside his portfolio. His small, cautious investments had grown. Not by much, maybe 6%, 7%, but it was real. He felt something he hadn't felt in years: control. He wasn't depending on a paycheck alone. He was building, learning, and adapting alongside technology instead of fearing it. Weeks turned into months. The anxiety that once lived in his chest began to fade. His mornings no longer started with dread, but with curiosity: what did the AI predict today? What could he learn from it? And one quiet afternoon, sitting by the window with a cup of coffee, he realized the truth: he hadn't just discovered AI tools. He had discovered a new version of himself. A version that didn't run from change, but partnered with it. From budgeting apps to automated investing, from fear to focus, AI had become his mentor. And in a world where technology often feels cold and distant, David found something surprisingly human in it: guidance, patience, and a second chance. By now, David's world looked different, not because he'd suddenly become wealthy, but because he'd learned something most people never do: money doesn't grow from hard work alone, it grows from smart systems. And that's where AI quietly changed everything. See, AI isn't just about robots or trading algorithms. It's about clarity. About turning chaos into patterns, and patterns into opportunity. Let me explain what David learned: lessons that anyone, anywhere, can apply. David realized he was wasting energy deciding what to do every month, what to save, what to invest, what to pay first. The AI budgeting app removed the decision fatigue. It automatically tracked every transaction, categorized spending, and projected his future cash flow like a personal CFO. It even told him, if you save $5 a day, you'll have $1,825 in a year. Suddenly, the impossible felt achievable because numbers became visual. That's the first magic of AI in finance: it turns invisible habits into visible progress. Once David trusted the process, he let the AI investing app automate small, consistent contributions. $25 every week. That's it. The AI didn't chase trends, it analyzed volatility, diversified automatically, and rebalanced as markets shifted. It's like having a silent pilot flying through market turbulence while you focus on life. And over time, those small, automated deposits did something powerful: they replaced anxiety with momentum. That's the second magic of AI: it compounds discipline faster than emotion can destroy it. David used to panic when markets dipped, but now, his AI app showed risk metrics in real time. Instead of seeing losses, he saw probabilities, confidence levels, and recovery forecasts. That perspective changed everything. Because when you see data instead of feeling fear, you make better choices. The budgeting assistant didn't just help David save. It showed him why he wasn't saving before. It revealed emotional spending patterns: how loneliness made him order takeout, how stress led to impulse buys. That's when he realized, AI isn't here to replace your brain. It's here to reveal your behavior. And once you understand your patterns, money stops being a mystery, it becomes a map. David didn't let AI make all the decisions. He learned with it. He still read about market trends, studied ETFs, and learned the why behind each recommendation. The more he understood, the better the AI performed, because it learned from his feedback. In a way, they evolved together. That's the real power of this new world, not man versus machine, but man with machine. And that's where most people miss the point. AI in personal finance isn't a get-rich button, it's a get-smart system. It won't multiply your money overnight, but it will multiply your understanding. The truth is, David's life didn't change because AI made him rich. It changed because AI gave him something money can't buy: clarity, control, and confidence. Now his phone buzzes every morning with updates, not anxiety, but awareness. A gentle reminder: your investment portfolio grew 1.2% this week. Or, you've saved enough for 1 month's emergency fund. Those tiny notifications feel like small victories, proof that even in a world run by algorithms, the human spirit still drives the outcome. David's story isn't unique. It's just untold. Because somewhere out there, someone else is staring at their phone right now, wondering if AI is only for the rich. But if you listen closely, AI isn't whispering to billionaires anymore. It's whispering to you. Months passed, and life began to feel different for David. Not because he'd won the lottery or suddenly unlocked some secret system, but because he'd learned to trust progress. His mornings no longer began with panic. They began with purpose. His finances were stable. His investments were growing. But more importantly, his fear was gone. He used to see AI as a threat, a force that would erase jobs, erase people, erase worth. But somewhere along the journey, he realized: AI doesn't erase your value. It reveals it. It shows you where your time goes, where your energy hides, where your money sleeps instead of works. And when you finally learn to partner with it, to work with the future instead of running from it, everything changes. Because control doesn't come from having more, it comes from understanding more. David's story is a reminder that financial freedom isn't reserved for those born into privilege or those who gamble big on luck. It's for anyone willing to learn, adapt, and start small. You don't need to be an investor to use AI. You just need to be curious. Maybe your first step isn't buying a stock or coding a bot, maybe it's just downloading that budgeting app. Or setting one small savings goal. Because one small step powered by the right tool can shift your entire future. So the question now isn't, is AI for me? It's, when will I start? Because the future of money isn't just about technology. It's about people who are brave enough to use it. And if that sounds like you, then your story starts today. Headphone subscribe for more stories that change how you see money and how you see yourself.